let's talk. My 2 cents on reworked Oregon, reworked Tachanka, new secondary hard breaching tools, as well as proximity mines. The video was published on the 3rd of March, early access to patrons and YouTube members. Oregon, and you could imagine that I'm happy that Oregon is being finally reworked, especially on that way that I somewhat suggested, merging Downing with Tower, and lack of the stairs to start the flank once your roamers are sent back to the laundry. And yes, I'm happy with the rework. I think that we'll have the same two objectives the strongest, laundry and supply as the best. Whereas I think the new bomb site in the meeting and kitchen could probably be even worse than the old Oregon Tower, because meeting can be easily pushed by the attic's hatch, similar to the customs on board there. And these two rooms are pretty large, requires a huge investment in them to hold them, so defenders won't have as much flexibility to do some cool roam strats. Dining and kitchen will definitely be more viable. You will most likely have two approaches for this side. One is to make tower a dead box by opening the dining walls and having a mirror window over the global shield, as well as you can have angles from the toilet. The additional path from the tower towards the kitchen is a great bonus. However, I would still like to see that you can deny the dining push from the vertical play. You can have a little angle from the kid's head to the dining, but that's just a barely pixel. The other way I see this played is with Bandit or Kite tricking the walls. Bandit tricking will be an issue because above Bandit it is a soft floor, and that is in the small tower, so that will be granted relatively easily for attackers. However, if they open it, they will be tunneling themselves through the one way. Like if attackers open Bull Wall toward the games on Outback. They will have to get a bit more of map control to put the way inside of the dining. All in all, the sites will be viable in the team composition, could be even viable in the lower ranks. For the second floor objective, having control of the double window is no longer necessary, as you don't get much by that. However, the key's window still has a view toward the wide stairs, but they will be way more exposed from the attic. Speaking of the attic, now it will be easier to control it, as there is just one normal window there, and Bandit or Kite tricking will be more safe, as they can be on a solid floor rather than undestructible. I could see this hatch being open whilst Bandit is bandit tricking the wall. The only way to deny this mini shot is by the window. Nothing much changed for the bedroom push, aside from the map fluidity, for roamers down there. For laundry and supply, the first in mind comes that the head drop in the lobby is way less important for defenders to keep it closed, because it only gives the taker the control of the stairs. Speaking of that, no vertical gain can be found in the whole basement, other than the other hatch, to see the other new stairs. But I see these newly added stairs as well as the whole hallway similar to the blue in the clubhouse. A help only for defense. Attackers won't get as much stuff when they get the control of it. They will still get a somewhat map control, but not as much as defenders. Defenders will get a new rotation to the first floor. However, I like the newly added tunnel from the bunker that faces the standard mirror of placement facing laundry. That angle will definitely spice things up for a bit, because it will be very hard to deny any bunker attacker getting into the bunker. Overall, the map has more fluidity for defenders. One out of two sides were fixed, and two primary sides were buffed, so I'm very happy with the rework so far. Tachanka rework. They have shown him using 5 of these things, so let's say that he has 5 mini capital bolts, that when he throws, range is probably around the C4 range, and it bounces off the walls as you can see in the background. That delays a push, or a plant, or anything similar. Basically, he'll be extra exposed when using his gadget. You won't be running around with it. You will most likely take it when you have to delay. You won't have it ready for the whole time, just like you're not holding C4 for the whole time or the small babes. What is also interesting is that he brings huge destruction. His LMG is capable of deleting walls, making rotations. That will help a lot. But the timing for that is not the best, because Onyx can also do loads of rotations. Aside from that, the Tachanka can make rotations when he wants to at the cost of nothing, comparing to Goyo that he has to take TCSG to make rotations instead of Vector. There wasn't shown many things about the Tachanka's ability, like for how long it will burn. If it burns for more than 10 seconds, then you can burn at least 50 seconds of a time for a push, which is insanely huge. He definitely looks promising, not overpowered and not underpowered. He will most likely be less liked because of 1 speed 3 armor and LMG has a pretty slow rate of fire. I could not find how much the rate of fire is. Post down below if you know. New secondary gadgets, and I'm more a fan of attackers. The current issue with attacker is that on some map you require to bring 2 hard breachers and an operator to deal with the Bandit or Kai charges, which is already 3 slots locked. Now you need a roam clearer or 2 and you already got the full lineup. This is barely any flexibility left for attackers. However, with the new Hard Breach tool, my hope is that there will be a reason not to bring Hard Breacher for a specific side, or to instead of two, like on the Clubhouse, to bring just one and use the Hard Breaching tool for the hatches. They say that one of these things can destroy the hatch. For the proximity alarm, I assume that it can be shot down by the bullet.
Anywhere, and it's going to be a great flank watcher.
Wonderful. And
But why would I bring that over a barbed wire? You have most likely two of these as they had shown in the preview. It probably has bigger range than barbed wire, but you will also most likely hear attackers when coming, or at least you will expect them to come in your way in the most situations. And barbed wires cannot be shot down with the bullets. Barbed wires are usually dealt with explosives, because you will be too vulnerable if you are trying to destroy it mid of the hallway. With the current information, and this video was made on the 3rd March, I don't think we'll be using proximity alarm as much. Thanks all the patrons and YouTube members that made this video available. Thank you for staying me for this long. If you wish to know all the ins and outs of the game, make sure to give me a like, subscribe and ring the notification bell. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any feedback or any question. With this being said, peace out.